So, okay, so let's get started officially. We are meeting again because 6 hours just wasn't enough.
No, we wanted to aim for the double digits, maybe.
Yeah. This is why when, Matt from the Bad Spot, he was like, nobody ever finishes an epic vow. I'm like, okay, challenge accepted. No one ever goes 5 hours for their session 0. Okay.
Did you just say there's something we couldn't do?
What if we're gonna go 8? But yeah, like what the stream doesn't know is that we met at 4, the live stream started at 5, and then we went till 10. And then so I was telling people like, yeah, we did a 5-hour stream, but then I was like, no, we met at 4. We had been meeting for like 6 hours.
We had been world building for 6 hours. Only 5 hours of it was live.
Yeah, but the first hour is like more logistic stuff. So we're gonna get into it. On my notes, what I have written down, it's kind of scattered, so we'll just make sense of it as we go.
As are the ones that I remembered that I put down.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get into it. So I put scene and NPC management. So that we kind of talked about it, but we kind of rushed a little bit because it was like 5 p.m. was coming up, and we were like, yeah.
We were at the 11th hour.
Yeah. So I have this thing that's like the scene guide baton. So just like alternating frames to each scene to make sure that there is a good narrative focus shift. So it's like the scene guide, whoever that person is, establishes the location, the immediate goal, obstacle they'll portray. Will they portray most NPCs in that scene? The non-guide, whoever like not sets it up, they're like focuses on their PC actions and reactions. But then that might go into the territory of like the scene guide
being like too much of a GM in that scene.
Yeah, or just like they just end up talking to themselves a lot and you're only worrying about yourself. So I'm not sure if I want to go that route.
I've been sort of comparing this game a lot to a lot of the improv scene work that I've learned over the years, and I've taught it a little bit as well. Yeah. And one of the things that you try to really establish so that you feel as though not one person's doing too much work is between the two players. Let's say like 2 players are in the scene. The first person's job is to just really start to give an offer of the setting, like you said, the who, the what, the why. Like, why are we here? We'll already know the relationships, at least between our PCs, but it's like, what are we doing? Why are we here? And, a little quick description of where we are. And then from there, we can be like, okay, let's say, we're on a sandy planet, and we're in a market square, and we're trying to find a contact that is elusive. Like that's something right there. And then it can be like, oh, now you know that. And it's like, well, what would my character do looking through this? And then whoever wants to just sort of take the baton, like if I've already set the who, what, where, that'd be me throwing the baton at you. You could be thinking of what would you do in that scene. And then based on what your choices are, I could either serve as an NPC if that's needed, or you could or do you not run into an NPC, or do you do something else? And then you would pass it back to me saying, what would I do? And then if I do something that involves an NPC, then you would take over. Like,
okay. So what would be like a quick, like literally like 3-minute scenario example of what that would look like?
Okay, let's expand on that. So
yeah,
let's say, okay, we are in a seedy part of it. Let's say like a space station. We're in a seedy part of a space station. We're supposed to be trying to find an arms dealer that's been selling some stolen tech that's linked to some anomalous AI-based problems. But we need to get them without raising an alarm, because this is very dangerous and it could result in a lot of damage. Okay. So we're here. We need to find these characters, and I think we're both probably, let's say we're both exhausted because we've been staking this out for a while, and it's very stressful because we're both, I think I would be stressful because I'm not a field guy.
Yeah. Okay. And then so you set up that scene, and then I'm saying what I'm doing or what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm sort of being like, okay,
then,
we've been here. The square sort of has one large rectangular area where a lot of the open trade happens, where things can be observed. But there's a long network of alleyways where a lot of the real deals happen.
I feel like I'm not asking how to role play. I'm getting very. I'm wondering about like. I'm getting very prescriptive, and I want to get. Like I want to know. I want to make sure like who is the NPC. That's basically the question. It's not
Okay.
So if I'm saying, okay, so I'm sorry, are there food stalls around?
Yeah, in the central area there are several food stalls.
Okay, so let's say I go up to a food stall and there is a large kind of heavyset woman. She looks kind of mean, like at her wit's end, and she's flipping like these space burgers, and you can hear the sizzle and it smells greasy. And she looks like she's been here. Like if there's, she looks like a staple, maybe,
Yeah.
could have been part of the people who started this place. And so I'm going to go up to her because she looks like she has a lot of information to give if we play our cards right. So I go up and walk up to
Okay.
her. Then who plays that? Yeah.
I would say, given a description, you've given a behavior.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to have a preconceived knowledge of anything that they know. That would be determined by the roles. But like, you've given me enough to give me a character.
Yeah.
You give me a couple of things. They're an older lady, heavy set. They've been working here for a long time, and they're probably exhausted and irritable.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So yeah, the woman turns around. Welcome to Cosmic Meat. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for information, and I think for the right price, you might be able to give it to me.
Base rocks. Listen, I don't have time for any more conspiracy theories or psychics. I'm just trying to get through my day. Tell me exactly what you're looking for, or get out of my face.
And then I would pull out like 50 credits on a card.
Ooh.
And I would kind of just like hold it out to her. Okay.
And now, do you think this would be an opportunity for a compel roll?
I think so. I think that would help. And then what happens so you're playing the lady, what happens if your character wants to talk?
I would say,
yeah.
With Dorian wants to talk, I would say this is where I say our PCs really need to have distinct voices so that we know when Selene or Dorian are speaking.
Okay.
And I would say, I think a behavior for both of us to try to make sure we don't end up like talking to ourselves for too long.
Yeah.
Where I think in this situation, narratively, it makes sense. You're questioning somebody in the seedy area. Dorian would be a little more reserved to say something.
Okay. If I turned to Dorian, I was like, what do you think I should do? She looks kind of, looks like she's going to hold all of her cards too close to her chest.
Well, what's that old adage? Money talks. Perhaps if you're willing to take care of the rest of her day financially, perhaps she'd be willing to acquiesce some information.
Right again you are, brother. Then I turn to her.
I raise my collar up, put my hood up. Doesn't want to be seen. Very uncomfortable.
Okay. And then it would go back to her.
Yep. Like, come on, I don't have all day.
Okay. And then I would slide I have the money. And then the compel roll is just to see if she kind of acquiesces.
Yeah, and I think because you're giving some money, even if it's a miss, they would be given some information, but it might not be correct. Yeah, I think it would depend. And then you would do the roll, you'd give us the outcome, and then based on the outcome, I could make a choice based on it.
Can we narratively say, like, hey, we're golds, we have money. Can this be a plus one?
I would argue that, yeah. I think we can bargain with each other.
Okay, so it sounds like, and then if the scene went on, okay, also the +1, because as a GM, I think that's something that I would give the player. Like, I would say realistically, you do have the money, I would say that's a +1 to your roll. And it's not like me trying to be metagaming or trying to win
not
the
at all.
game.
This is a specific circumstance where, like, if we're gonna use our influence or wealth in some way, that would be an absolutely logical thing to do. And I think, when a player comes to me being like, oh, I have this thing that could benefit this specific scenario, absolutely give them a small bonus. It's when they try to be like, oh, I want to use money to quell this raging beast through the town. It's like, that's not gonna work. The slime beast cares not for your paper money.
The slime beast will eat you and your money, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Its favorite food is money, so that's not going to help, actually. Okay, so I guess that's my first thing. So NPC portrayal, I have default, whoever introduces an NPC hands the portrayal over to the other person.
Yeah, and I think you did an excellent job being like, you gave me an appearance, a behavior, and perhaps like what they're looking for. And this person just wants to get through their day and doesn't want to be bothered. It's like three key things when we introduce an NPC so that the other person has an idea of how to make that person come to life.
Yeah.
For however long they're going to be around.
And in terms of like what is a key NPC versus just a regular NPC, I think the way that I do it in other games, I'm like, if they have a name, then they're a little bit more important. If there's no name but just like a general description, it's just like they're a flyby.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Not every person that has a pop-up shop is gonna be a key NPC.
Yeah, and even if they do have a name, it's something, I don't know. Like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a sticky note on my monitor of random NPC names. Like, I have sticky notes of the skills for Nimble because I was just always forgetting. So I have those right here.
I did the same thing when I was learning Pathfinder all over again. I had the notes of all the stupid things that you could do, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna look.
Okay,
so I get it.
That must have been one packed monitor.
Yeah, and it was long.
Yeah, so I think that's what we could do. Have a couple sci-fi names ready, and then if it comes up in the narrative, we can add a name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so handoffs. I wrote, you can always offer an NPC to the other player or request to them, mind if I keep this one? Like, mind if, like, we just say it, like, if we want to portray that for any reason, we have like a super specific idea of who they are, that might come up.
Yeah, I think that's relevant.
Or if the scene is really about what you're looking for, and then I add in like, oh, there is an NPC. There's a woman at the stall. You want to go talk to her? So that could be like, because I was the one who introduced the NPC in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be an example of like, maybe you introduced it. I go, I'm looking for information. And then you could have went, oh, well, there's a woman here. She looks like she's lives here. She's set up. She looks old and then set in her ways. But she looks like she could be a good source of information. Like, that could have came from you, and then I would have been like, okay, I'll go talk to her. So I guess it could.
Yeah, I guess it could be either you. It's either you create the character and throw the offer, or like if you give a prompting, like, I'm looking for someone to get information from, and we've got the description of the area, and I could be like, oh, there's a woman with a pop-up like food stand that looks older, and she's definitely been here before. We could see that a lot of people have come and gone through her. So yeah, let's go talk to her.
Okay. And then the same thing for you. So if you're looking for something, you could either introduce the person, or what I'm saying is, like, if we need something, if we're looking for something, if we're trying to do something, I think it could come from either of us, unless we're like, hey, mind if I keep this one?
Yeah, I think when those circumstances where it's like, I have a very strong inspiration for this NPC. Do you mind if I take the helm on this? Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay. And then taking the helm, it could mean that I'm going to take the helm in describing them, but you could still play them. Yeah, or it could be that I want to play them.
Yeah, it could be either or, and that could be something when you say, you mind if I take the helm? It's like, okay, do you want to guide me through this character, or do you want to take on this character? And that could be something we decide in the moment.
Okay, sounds good. So exceptions, I put your own like bonded NPCs or key NPCs, nemesis, asset-related context. Are those ours to portray by default? So unless unless we have it written down somewhere, maybe it's in the notes in Foundry, because I have the key NPCs. Like I have my 3: the lover, the mentor, the nemesis or rival.
Yeah.
Are those ours to role play by default because we have the best idea, or if we just like write it down pretty well, the other person can't portray it?
I think honestly, a character like that, if they're simple enough, and if we really want to, like, let's say you really want to role play with the lover character,
Yeah.
would it benefit you as a player and as a storyteller to have someone to talk with, or would you rather talk to yourself for that? Because I'd be happy to give you that spotlight to do that if you want to do that, or I could also just be the reflection of that character for that scene.
I personally would like to have someone to talk to.
I agree.
And
that's what that's what I would elect immediately.
I think it's like it's a thing of just, it feels kind of awkward to just be talking to yourself for like
it's
I think it's fine for like
yeah, it's my least favorite thing to do as a GM is to just be talking to myself for too long.
Yeah, I think it could work for like something quick. Like if I'm like talking to my companion Dex, and then I describe what Dex is doing or something real quick, you know. Or if I'm talking to like a little kid, and then I just say what they say back to me real quick, like that could work too. It's like there's like little quick
one
stuff
off,
that we
one
can
off,
do.
like one off or like 3-line conversation, and that's it.
Yeah, and or it could just be describing like their actions. I'm like, oh, I'm trying to bribe a little kid. He kicks me in the shin and then runs away. You know, describing something really quick.
Take 1 health.
Take 1 health. He had metal in his boots.
He had a metal shoe.
Oh god. So there's that. Does that all make sense? Is that like we can agree on that?
Yeah, that makes absolute sense.
Like
That's something. Yeah, that I would encourage. Like, yeah, so we would just really, when we make these NPCs, just have those like key qualities, like 3 things, throw it at the other person so that they have something to embody, and take it from there. And then reserve special ones for like if we really want to work with one.
Yeah.
And then we can also agree, same thing, like a one-off character where it could be like, oh, I'm guiding us through the archives, and someone at the front desk is like, sir, you cannot come in. I have a pass key, thank you. Oh, right, go right ahead, sir. And that's it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and that's if we need to go any farther, I'll hop in maybe.
Yeah, like if it lasts too long, I think just a drive by.
You're just like going back and forth. Oh, wait, I don't know. Oh,
yeah.
And just watching you talk to yourself back and forth. You look kind of crazy.
Yeah, a little too long, which we don't want.
So we got the NPC.
The NPC baton offering to throw to each other. And we also did the scene setting where like one person can be like, gives the who, what, where. And again, sort of the same thing with creating an NPC. Just give like a quick little description of what the place is so you have an idea.
So what is needed? We need appearance? We need like some type of quirk?
Yep, appearance, quirk, and
general disposition?
Yeah, a demeanor, a behavior.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a good amount to go off of.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
We could, if they look nice, if they look happy, if they look mean and grumpy.
They look tired. They look
tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're weeping inconsolably.
Yeah, they're crying. They're bloodied. Or a bone poking out, something like that. Well, something to help us portray them
for however long we're gonna need to be portraying.
However we need them. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is like move and dice resolution.
Yes.
We talked about that a little bit, but so stating moves, clearly state the move you're making and the fictional stakes before rolling. Clearly state the move. So there is a whole bunch of moves, and I have some right here. For example, we have face danger, secure an advantage. The player who rolled narrates the successful outcome. The weak hit, co-narrate. The roller states their success, and the partner can state the cost or complication. So that's a possibility. Or it could just be all the person who made the roll can do it all. But sometimes your scene partner has like an idea for how a complication could come in.
I like the idea that perhaps if we, the roller, have an idea of what the success or failure looks like, we can sort of at least begin the prompt. But then also, I definitely would love to keep it open for the other person to throw in something where, like, perhaps I'm not sure what the complication is in that moment. Like, if there's like more than like a few seconds of like I'm like trying to think of what could this weak hit look like as I'm hacking into the system and I can't think of something, and then you come up with something to throw at me and be like, oh, that's great.
Yes, because either we're stuck, right, or someone just has like a really cool idea and they're like, I think this would be perfect.
Yeah, before he's like, I think I have a great idea. Even if I say I have an idea and then you're like, but what if it's this? And I'm like, oh, that's great. Let's do that.
Or it could be like, it's not really.
I'm not vibing with it.
Yeah, and it's okay. We're just throwing out ideas, seeing what sticks. If it's a miss, I guess I wrote this down because it could be because we're both GMs and we're both players at the same time, and so I was thinking. No, I think I was overthinking it, but I think to keep it simple, the person who starts the prompt starts it off, and then if the other person has an idea, they could throw it out there.
I think that's a good way to do it, like on a case by case basis.
Yeah, and stay within the realms of reality and like respectful of what the person is starting to set up. Like your idea isn't like totally left field.
Yeah, where it's just like, well, what if the whole thing blows up? It's like,
and you're like,
no.
What?
Wait,
yeah,
what?
Exactly. Wait. But yeah, so the other thing that I wrote down, I wrote these like 2-3 weeks ago. So sometimes I'll be like, okay, why did I write that? The other is swear an iron vow house rule. Oh, I remember why I wrote this, because when we were practicing with Nick, I didn't like that only one person
was afflicted by it.
Got benefits from the swear an iron vow. I thought it would, because Nick's character, he's the one that swore an iron vow, and
yes,
and then my character had like
you had a bonus. You had a bonus to like the benefits of an iron vow.
But he was like, no, only I get the benefit because I swore it. But I'm like, this is like a group game. Everything else is shared. How come the swear an iron vow is like the only thing that's not shared? And I was like, I don't know if I like that. So I'm proposing a house rule. So when one player makes the swear an iron vow move, all players in the party gain any relevant benefits mentioned in any asset cards. So does that make sense? I don't know if that's game breaking. I guess we'll see.
I guess if it's an iron vow that pertains to both of us, because sometimes you might have a vow that that's like pertains to your story, and I might have a vow that pertains only to what I'm doing. But if it's like an overall thing, I think I absolutely agree. Like if it's something like, for example, the vow we'll make for pursuing and bringing back this rebel, that's something that affects both of us.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense. I'm just thinking how many times, because swearing an iron vow seems important, but it's probably not as important as your background vow. They don't have to be epic, right?
No, they don't have to be epic.
What's like an equivalent of an iron vow? It's just like I'm going to do this for you, and I promise. It's like a promise, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a promise. It's like it's a fetch quest. Like, I swear an iron vow that I will deliver these rare goods to the right facility without getting caught. Or I swear an iron vow I'm going to keep this one person from interrupting your party all night.
Right. But they're important, but not as important as your background vow.
Correct. No, I think that is the big epic character changing thing.
Okay, and I just love the fact that I want to forsake mine, because
that's rad as hell.
There's such these huge things, and then anyway, we talked about it before, but I think that's really cool. Do you have any other homebrew rules that you thought of, or anything that came up? My other stuff might come up like while we're in the learning phase too.
I'm still trying to hash some things out, because I think because we built our characters to be diametrically opposed in ideals.
Yes, yeah, we did.
I'm curious to see if there's a way. I'm trying to look through, like, I know I don't I think adding like the passions and stuff like that might be a little too much
Little
for
too
right
much?
now to throw on to what we're trying to learn. But I think there's something there where we can like try to maybe affect each other's conviction or something. Like, I'm trying to think, like, I know there's no PvP in this, but I want to be able to like, what if we both present like compelling arguments to get to sway the other? How can we facilitate that? Or like maybe I'm really trying to convince you to do something, or you're really trying to convince me to like give up on my dream or something like that. I don't know. That's just a thought I had, but it might not come up in this first arc.
That's true. That might. Yeah, a lot of this is like play to find out, which I like. So I don't have answers right now because of that.
Yeah, I think as we get more comfortable with the core mechanics, I think I can sort of mess with the core mechanics once I'm more familiar with like
Yes, yeah.
the characters, the world, and how we do things. Then I can like look at these again, and then just like, you know, whenever you learn a new game module, once you've learned it and comfortable enough, then you can mess with it.
Yes, I think, but I think your head is like your idea is in the right place. Like you're in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, I think like affecting each other's conviction is a big thing, because that's something I really love about certain like on the great touchstones that we have, like the Mass Effect trilogy, and another one that I completely didn't think about when we were talking Star Wars was the old Knights of the Old Republic games, where the morality choices you would make throughout the game not only affected your character, but also affected your key party members. Like their behaviors, their ideals, and their beliefs would change based on the choices you made, and they would confront you sometimes, being like, are you sure this is the right thing? And then based on how you did those RP with them, you would change them. Or like you could have like this altruistic person who then certainly shifts to being lawful evil, because they're like, no, we do have to kill people to save the masses or something like that. Where at first you were like, no, I'd never spare, kill someone like that. And I think that would be a fascinating thing to mess with.
Okay. Is this like a homebrew move? Because that could be interesting.
I think
like
so.
Specifically for us.
Yeah, I think so. I would like to, but it also comes into, I don't want to change how your character thinks if you really feel like you, the player,
right?
Feels set on something.
Yeah.
This could be something we could like contest each other with, and it sort of changes the way the world around us views us, or how like key NPCs might shift.
Yeah, it doesn't. It could be a move where it's like it's open ended. So we'll look at like how moves are made in general, because there's always like on a strong hit, on a weak hit, on a miss type thing.
Yeah.
Even on a strong hit, we're not forcing the person's hand.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing with PBTAs, where it's like you're never going to force a PC to change their behavior, but based on a role where you kind of give them a compelling thing, perhaps the mechanic is, I still have my own beliefs, but which means I might not get a bonus for helping you when it pertains to this specific thing.
Yes.
Example. You might not get a bonus to helping me if I'm trying to repair a broken red. You wouldn't necessarily A, want to, and B, if you did, I don't think it would give me any benefit because of your ideals of being against them.
Okay. Yeah. I think we'll have a better idea after we continue to play some more, in these characters.
I've already put a pin on this to be like, let's look at like conviction and like that sort of like messing with each other's passions and stuff, because I think that would be fun to RP and fun to like really augment the story.
Yes. So it would be a thing like, because you know how if you're playing the different game, you're like, I rolled a nat 20 on my influence roll or something. You're like, well, okay, that's perfect. This NPC is still who they are, though.
Yeah, no, it's just like you can't. The rogue can't nat 20 their way through deceiving all the time, or like it's like I got a nat 20 in stealth. It's like, you're in an open field. That's great. That's great. That's great. You're in an open field and there's guards everywhere. Like there's nowhere for you to hide.
Yeah, there's like, it doesn't make you invisible, my friend.
Yeah.
But maybe you have a ghillie suit that you forgot you had in your back. So we can only bend reality so much. But I think it's not a thing where it's like now we have to role play our characters in a way that we don't feel comfortable with, or something they wouldn't narratively do. Maybe it's a thing of like, strong hit, your mind is more open to my idea than being
when perhaps we're in an interlude, or while we're just exploring a waypoint that isn't aggressive or hostile, we can make that an opportunity to continue that conversation of that move.
Yes.
And
But we'll flesh it out. We have the bones of it, I think, and I think this is a good
we just have
custom.
to add the sinews and the meat and all of that good stuff.
All that, yeah. Okay. So that's a good homebrew rule. I can't think of anything else. I'm sure something might come up when we continue to play.
Yeah, I think more will come up, and like I said, we'll hash more of this out and figure out some more fun homebrew things to make the world more our own worlds.
100%. Our own worlds. Okay, so player well-being and pacing. I put managing mental load. So from what I've read and when we played our liminal horror game, I think we both know a 2-person game can be intense.
Yes.
And even though these mechanics are really great for co-op and solo play, and you can roll in oracles, it still doesn't lift the weight of it just being 2 people.
Yeah, no, there's a huge mental and emotional load for going through a story together. That's going to be there no matter how well the mechanics are in helping facilitate it or make it easier. Because I think the oracles are great. If our brains are fried and we can't really think of something but want to keep moving, oracles are great. But yeah, I think mental load is huge because we also don't want to suffer any sort of like low-key burnout from it.
Yes, exactly. So it still can be intense, like you said. I think things move fast because we don't have 2 to 3 other players who we can bounce ideas off of and take I think there's when you're if you're like a nurse or something and you could take these little micro naps.
Yep.
Where you're like, I can shut my eyes for 30 seconds here and then another one here, another one here. It's kind of like that when you have more people to bounce off of. I as a GM can take my micro naps. You know what I mean? But
a GM could tune out when the PCs want to have their weird conversations about stuff.
Yes, and it's not like I don't tune out.
Not completely, no, but you cut some of the energy off.
Yeah, you can power down a little bit. You're still. It's like when your mother or something, your kids are in the background. You're still listening, pay attention to them, make sure they're not getting hurt. But you're can still kind mode.
Yeah, you're on airplane mode.
Airplane mode is a great way to put it. With a 2-person game, you can't really go on airplane mode.
Not really, no.
And so that's why I want us to actively manage our energy and mental load to prevent burnout, like you said. I think a break schedule, not optional at all. So using a timer for sure, every 60 to 90 minutes. Yeah.
Take that 10 to 15 minute break as needed.
Yeah.
And
we can use the take a break move if needed. I don't know how metagamey that is because you actually get a benefit from taking that move. We don't have to do it. We could do it. Let's say we use the take a break move once a session.
Yeah, once per session. I don't think is fair because then because then we don't need to abuse it.
And the other thing is when we had our session 0, which was 5 hours, which is a long time. But I also mentioned it's a different mental load. If it was 5 hours of role play and we were in character and we were locked in, my brain would have melted.
Mm-hmm.
But fair. It was casual and it's not the same. So I think it was a little bit easier. But also 15-minute breaks were great. I think that's such a good time. So I think I'm going to say 15.
15 is perfect because that's enough time to make a cup of coffee or something, or make a meal, eat something, rest room.
You could totally put something in the microwave real quick.
Yep.
And eat.
And consume it at a normal pace and not fully scarf it.
Yeah. But then you can also just sometimes I'll just flop on this beanbag behind me.
That's very tempting.
and then just that's what I'll do for my break and turn my brain off.
You can do or sometimes when I'm at the computer for long enough, I'll go and I'll do some stretching to kind of wake the body back up.
Exactly. Yeah. If I'm going to do the food thing, I'll just go stand because I know we're sitting a lot. I'll be standing that entire time just to be not in that same position. And then also there could be ad hoc breaks at any point. So I'm going to be you know what? This was an intense scene or something. Let's take 5. let's do 10, something like that. Anybody can call that at any point.
Yeah, like just hey, this is I'm pulling the e-brake.
Exactly.
Like a little emergency brake.
Instead of, yes, we're going to pull over real quick on the side of the freeway. It's not the formal rest stop. It's a little break.
Yeah.
So I
just
think
need to decompress for just a moment.
Okay. Perfect. So that is the player well-being that I want to talk about. So next is session structure. In terms of like opening recap, like I said, I think it'd be great if we alternate who does the opening recap for each episode.
Yes, I completely agree with that, because then that gives us both an opportunity to do that, to take that load on, and then and also practice that narrative, and also give each other a break as well to kind of tune out for a moment, just listen, like, okay, this is what happened, instead of being forced to remember what happened.
But here's the thing, we don't have to be forced to remember, because whoever's doing the recap, like I said before, technically we both have time to write it out.
Yes, that is true. You're correct.
So let's say episode 1, there is no recap. We'll flip a coin to see who opens the season.
And then whoever loses opens for the next one.
Sure. So let's say you open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So technically, this is how we're doing it. It's one block of recording. That block could have 3 episodes in it. So it's one recording session. You are opening the session, then we take a break, and that's episode 1. Okay, we're still recording though. After that break, we record episode 2. But someone has to do that recap for episode 2, which is what we just played. And so we decided that we're not going to try to like rack our brains and be like, okay, so what did we do for the last 45 minutes? We're just going to record that full session if it's 2-3 hours, and then we'll have like the transcript, so we could just take we could look at the transcript and then make our recap based on that. So it's not something we have to like even remember after the recording session. We just look at the transcript and be like, okay, so this was with a break. Okay, so I'm going to take this portion of the transcript of our playtime.
We'll summarize
it, and then we record the recap and then slot it into the edit. So that's how that will work. So that is very technical, but hopefully that makes sense. And then, so that's episode 2. Then I would record after the case, because I'm reading the transcript and I'm like, okay, here's what we did part 1. And then for let's say we record episode 3 in that same session. And then you would look at the end of the transcript and be like, oh, okay, so this is what we did in episode 2. Then you would recap. So and then it'd probably be like, on the last episode of Iron Rising.
Previously on Iron Rising. Get into my full like serial drama or like anime series like voice. Previously on Iron Rising.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's your recap voice?
I don't know. It might be.
We'll see.
It might be a little too stupid, but it also could be fun.
Hey, well, let's see. Well, do 2 takes.
I'll do 2 takes. Later on, you get 5.
Also, recaps and the amount of them, or the length, actually. I don't think they should be longer than 1 minute.
Agreed.
Okay, because I'm thinking about, my goal here overall is I want to create something that I would listen to, that I would want to listen to. I personally don't want to listen to like a recap that's longer than 1 minute. Because I want to get back into the story as soon as possible.
It's the same thing with like a lot of theatrical auditions. Is like people are like, dude, give me a 60-second monologue, because within those 60 seconds I'll decide if I'm interested or not. And I think anything that's longer than that, it becomes hard.
It does. And I've seen a lot of actual plays where I'm like, whoa, that the GM is just, after a while it feels like they're droning on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. And then I hold my thumb down on my phone, and then the video goes 2 times speed.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, or I'll just like double click, 40 seconds forward. But yeah, so that's what I want to talk about. So also with the recaps, or when you do the opening, like for example, for my Orbital Blues campaign, the opening was just like 1 paragraph, and we were in, and that's the opening of the entire season. Yeah. I think that could be a little bit different, but I do want to get into it quick because we have 30 seconds to grab people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll say that 30 seconds is after the opening, because I think everybody kind of knows, like, okay, how is this getting started? Here's the world. Let's open it up. But then after that, we have like 30 seconds to hook people, to get them to stay and listen to the rest. And so that's why I'm like, let's get into it. That's why I do want to start in medias res.
In media res.
Yes. But yeah, so that's how the recap structure will work, and we'll get into more of the meat and bones of it once we actually start playing. It's pretty simple, actually.
This gave me a good idea for how the opening should be for each episode.
What?
The opening for each episode with some sort of undertone is, whatever overture music we have.
Sure.
It's the mantra we made.
Uh-huh.
And then a chime for the beginning of the episode.
So we should say the mantra.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of like, that's okay. So there's the recap. I'm thinking of Avatar. Last time on Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
So there's that. But there's also in Avatar, Katara always says, and then I'm so bad. I'm sorry, Avatar fans. That's such an iconic opening.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? And then the Fire Nation attacked. And what is it? It shows the water bending, fire, earth, performed by all this stuff. Then
everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yes. When I was a boy, my father last told me. Oh, that's Tenzin, actually. That's the first episode. That's Legend of Korra.
Mm-hmm.
Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Only the Avatar, master of all 4 elements, could stop them. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. And that's just 1 paragraph. I'm looking at it now. It's just 1 paragraph. It's pretty quick.
Is.
100 years passed, and my brother and I discovered the new Avatar, an airbender named Aang.
And a lot of something about like.
Although his airbending skills are great, he has a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Aang can save the world. Yeah, and then we get into it, and that's it. So it could be, I'm thinking of something like that. Is it recap and then intro?
I think it is recap then intro.
Okay, so it's like previously on
Iron Rising. Right. This happened. And
okay.
Then this happened.
Okay.
But then this happened.
And then so that's the opening? Well, no, I'm trying to understand, because I like it, but I'm trying to see. So I'm thinking it's previously on, which is the recap.
Mm-hmm.
And then intro.
Then intro. And then we jump right in.
Okay. So intro is, oh my God, we got to memorize the mantra. It's easy. We'll get it. But why am I forgetting the first line? It's order is gold. Well, that's the last line.
That's the last line.
That we say both together.
It's strength is duty.
Duty is order.
Order is
gold.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get that down where we can say order is gold at the same time.
Yeah, no, the syncing online is a little bit weird, but we'll be recording locally, so I will match it up so it's together. Who's saying the first part?
I think perhaps.
I don't think it matters. I think we can flip a coin. We can flip a coin. Should we flip a coin?
Yeah, let's flip a coin.
I don't have any coins. I always say flip a coin. Should I just have a quarter here?
Do it. D6. 1, 2, 3. It's you. 4, 5, 6. It's me.
Okay. I do have a D6.
TTRPG people. We don't have coins, but we got a lot of dice everywhere.
We got dice. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. It's who?
1, 2, 3. It's you. 4, 5, 6. It's me.
We're talking about who says it first.
Who starts it?
Who starts it? Okay. 6.
It's me.
Okay. So we'll say mantra. 1. I was gonna say Mike. 2. Maya. 3. Together. And so it's recap, intro, episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that could be interesting. I'm thinking about the Parenti brothers. They do something. They have their little song that they.
Yep. They
play. Yeah, and I really like it. I love a good like pirate song, little jig.
Who doesn't love a fun sea shanty?
Yeah, I love a good sea shanty. I need to watch their stuff again. And then do they do the sea? No, they do the recap and then sea shanty.
They do the recap, or sometimes they've done a preview of what's to come. They do kind of a blend, from what I remember. Oh no, they do they? Yeah, they do. Sometimes I think sometimes they've done a preview of what's to come, and then sometimes they do a recap if it's something significant. So they kind of mess with both.
Okay.
And then they do intro, episode.
Okay. I think what we'll do is recap to intro, which is quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then into episode.
And then they do an outro too, which is basically just a repeat of the song, and then has a page with all the links where, find us here. Here's our website. Here's our Patreon. All that fun stuff. Which whatever sort of music we have, or whatever sort of like overture we have, we can just play that at the end. That represents the end of the episode. The
outro, huh?
We can mess with that after though.
Yeah. Outro. Say the mantra again. Is that what you're saying?
We could say the mantra again. We begin each and every session with the mantra.
We're indoctrinating the listeners, is what we're doing.
We could do that, but then we reverse the order, where you say it first, I say it second. We say it together.
Oh. Okay. Oh my God, a good idea. Oh my gosh.
Do it. Say it.
When we forsake the vow and eventually break from it, we no longer say the mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh, that'd be great. That's like, keen listeners will notice that we haven't said the mantra. Like, I think like season 2 or something, or like,
or it could. What if it's? That's so cool. So like, what if it's like we each say our one piece, but instead of saying the final piece, there's just the sound of a chain snapping or something.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or something breaking, something.
Yep.
We'll do something in the music to represent, to signify. Or it could be, oh my God, it could be a thing of like one of us, like if one of us leaves first, the other person doesn't say the mantra anymore. And it's just one person saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the only one that believes it now.
That's wild. Yeah.
Like if you, what's the word? Not deserter, but if you, what's the word?
Dissent?
People who leave, dissent, or what's the word when you like finally leave a cult? You're a something.
I was gonna say expat, but you're not an expat. You're
no.
You Exodus. There's an Exodus. There's some.
I don't know.
I know what you're trying to say. I know what you mean.
Okay. We'll figure it out. But I just think that's a cool idea to like represent the fracturing in the intro. And so it starts off with both of us saying it. And then maybe by like episode 4, you're like, I'm done. This is no longer the life that I believe in. Or something. And then episode 5. Episode 5, it's just me saying the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And then like arc 2 or season 2 where we've like completely, is it dissented? Is it dissent? Is that the word? Now we need, what's the word?
You're leaving a cult is releasing oneself.
That's not what I'm looking for though.
Hang on. Renegade, fugitive, escapee, defect.
Oh, that's the word.
Defector.
Defect. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. You're a deserter. Someone says deserted. Defector. So when you defect to whoever does it first, that could be interesting. And then by arc 2 or season 2, that mantra is no more. Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay.
Oh, there's something there too. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Stop me, like, because there's something here. Maybe we mess with this later on, but
yeah,
the thing, I defect, I'm not defected.
Well, so
because
what
that
do you
could
mean?
be a term for, like, you know, something's defective. Like an AI is defective.
Right.
The AI rising has something to do with that word.
With defect.
With defect, they're not defective. They're defectors.
What do you mean?
As in, they're not broken. They're rebelling.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
There's something there. I don't know. It's kind of cool.
Exactly. I think that's why. I think it's why the name of the podcast is what it is. There is some type of rising that's going to happen.
Yes.
Right.
As Hugo Weaving once said, it is inevitable.
Wait, where did he say that in V for Vendetta?
I was thinking The Matrix.
The Matrix? He has so many like bangers. You know, what are we gonna do? So that's a session structure. We kind of got excited with the intro, but that's why we meet. These kind of brainstorming sessions. This is what happens. So. I don't know why I wrote down pacing controls. We don't really have to do this, like verbal cues to manage the game's pace. Fast forward to skip travel, montage if we want to like compress stuff.
Well, that's where the interlude options can come in. That was the other thing we were looking at as a homebrew. I think that's a cool moment where we could throw. They don't have to be every time we're doing stuff, but I think sometimes, perhaps after a very intense or significant scene, an interlude could be a good moment for us as players and characters to decompress and like process what happened.
Okay. Also, I need to look into interludes a little bit more. But are they just montage scenes? Like, have you?
From what I saw, it could be just montage scenes, or it could be like a moment where, like, let's say we're viewing it over like a beautiful moment, something in the cosmos, and then we can just sort of have a scene there. And then based on how that scene goes, we either make a move or we just get a benefit to momentum.
Okay. I'm
gonna go over the logistics of it again.
Is there a montage move? Because I know there's a move for everything.
There's a move for everything.
So I guess we'll look into that. But I was thinking, hey, what if we need to montage a week, a month, 6 months? How would that work? So something to represent that, you know. Think of Lord of the Rings, like we didn't see every moment. There's lots of sweeping montages of them going up the snowy mountain and you know, traveling and stuff like that. So
it makes me think of another a JRPG I played recently, not spoiling anything, a Metaphor Refantasio. It's like a very vast, crazy JRPG, high fantasy, politics. It was really interesting, but something that fascinated me was there were these scenes you could do that were optional, where it was like, oh, we're going to sightsee for a moment. Do you want to stop? And then you can choose to keep going, or you can stop. But if you stop, they give you this beautiful landscape of something like from history or something in the world that's like beautifully painted, designed, like perhaps like there's like a wave that's frozen in time. That's like just beautifully done. And everyone's like, wow, look at this. And the historian's like, oh, this happened because of this. And every character kind of does something that has a comment about it. And then you're like, oh, your bonds with your party got closer because you did this scene, or a cool item was found because you did this scene. I'm like, that's kind of cool, because it's kind of a break from like, there's no talking about the quest, there's no talking about the drama. It's just you take in a moment together, and you're rewarded either emotionally or mechanically because of it. And I think that would be something cool to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
So is that a homebrew thing that we want to, or just like tack it on, or?
Yeah, let's tack that on. I'm gonna find the specifics of the interlude and like what it specifically lets you do. But
yes,
because I think that would be very fun.
And then I'm just gonna see, is there a montage move? I'm just gonna look that up real quick. Okay. A post-session debrief. After each session, we will use the end of session move to reflect on the game and discuss what felt draining or exciting to adjust for the next time. And I think when I say draining, it's purely like technical.
Like emotionally draining.
Emotionally draining is fun. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like I get drained mentally quickly because of the 2-person setup, is what I mean. And so I'm thinking, oh, maybe there's something in game that we could tweak to help out with that. Maybe the break wasn't long enough, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's in the post-session debrief. That's what I meant.
Oh, I agree. So like if we can figure out like perhaps we need to adjust the break time or like where we put the break time to kind of really give ourselves the second wind that we need to push through the latter half. Yeah.
Exactly. And then what also worked, I guess it's kind of like it's session debrief. It's also mixed in with like stars and wishes.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what I was going to say. Stars and wishes could definitely be fit in there.
And then adjust from there. But interludes are really just from what I'm reading here, they are more like downtime scenes to deepen your character's like personality, interest, background, which I like. It could add more detail. It makes us more than just like 2-dimensional creatures that we've created.
Yeah, I think we don't have to not use them every time we do something, but perhaps when they're significant.
Yeah, or perhaps we're like, hey, I want to flesh out my character a little bit more. Or if we're thinking of like in a storyteller mode and podcast, we're like, hey, I don't think we know enough about your character. I want to have an interlude scene. Let's dive deeper. Let's flesh out your character a little bit more.
Yeah. Or it could be like, hey, Selene mentioned something that I don't think she shared with Dorian before, or maybe not enough.
Yeah.
Let's, can we take a sec? Can we do an interlude to kind of explore that? And then we can describe, we're going through like a beautiful belt, like around a ring of a planet, and we can like describe how beautiful it looks. And the two of us are looking outside from the ship, and that's where the conversation happens.
Yeah. Okay. I think so that's what I think interludes are best for. I don't know about montage. I think a montage roll would be
if we different. Do battle if we roll battle over doing a full combat scene. That could be montage.
Yeah, that's what battle is, right? It's a montage of the scene, right?
Yeah, if we don't want to go through the nitty-gritty of a combat, we just roll battle, and then based on the success or failure, we just montage it, being like, oh, we got a strong hit. Yeah, Selene cleans house, and you describe how you wreck a bunch of these rebels that surprise us, and how when Dorian struggles to take down one guy, you've easily taken out 7.
Yeah. So that's how the battle move allows players to resolve a large scale or less significant combat encounter with a single roll. I don't think there is a montage move outside of combat. Maybe that's another homebrew thing we can make up. We can add in.
Yeah, because we could figure out how to make that work depending on what we're doing. Like perhaps if we know like a certain expedition or travel is going to be very routine or something we've already accomplished, then we can just montage it.
Yeah.
Like once we've established, a safe track between, point A and point B, we did the whole expedition before. We can, if we have to go back to that planet for whatever reason, to be like, we'll just montage this expedition so we don't have to do that again. In the event, something interesting happens, we could still roll that and see with it.
Got it. Okay. So it's similar to the battle move, but it works outside of combat.
Correct.
So I'm going to write that down as a potential homebrew rule. And then there was the other one that is, it's hard, but it's kind of like that influence each other's character type move.
The compelling someone or compelling conviction.
So we still need to flesh this one out a bit.
Yes. And I think we'll have more ammunition for that once we've been playing and living in the characters for a bit.
Yeah, we'll have more data. Okay. So should we go over the character questions?
Yeah, let's do some character questions.
Okay. So let's look at these character questions. This is a homebrew document that I found by Joseph. Flashcore. I'm probably saying that wrong. I apologize. I found it on itch.io. But yeah, I'll leave a link down below for it.
Yes, thank you so much, Joseph, for this excellent supplement that'll help us really flesh out these characters, the Velcaris siblings.
Kelvaris.
The Kelvaris.
What did you call us?
Velcaris, I fucked it up. This is why we need to do it, so that I don't fuck it up. And you know what? Thank goodness there's no one here to be like, oh, you messed up a name.
That was me. I am here for that.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that to me.
Okay. So after character creation before the begin a session move, so we are technically before a begin a session move. That won't happen for a second. Ask other characters one of the following questions in character. So we are in character. Choose from general questions or pick from ones relevant to your asset. You can ask one or two of them, or you can ask everyone a question. They give you a short answer as they see fit.
Oh, are we playing 21 questions with each other? But we don't have to do it.
It is kind of like 21 questions. Yeah. Please bear in mind that the answer should be considerate to other players, and they can refuse your answer if it would show their character in a bad light, or they're just, for whatever reason, uncomfortable with the offered answer. But the point of these questions is to build relationships between characters even before play, not to change someone else's character or the way they intend to play it. So we're just like fleshing stuff out. The way another character sees you is not necessarily true. For example, a mercenary is usually seen as someone just doing a job for the money, and that may be the way the other character perceives yours. That's fine. Yeah. That doesn't mean your character can't have high moral standards and only takes jobs they see as honorable or just. First impressions are not always right, and relationships between characters change, as do characters themselves. So I like that. That's true, Joseph. And then we have companion asset questions as well. Okay, so we're going to start with the general questions.
Yeah, let's each do a general question, and then maybe we look into the path ones or the companion ones and just volley back and forth.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so what have I done to earn your trust? Or, since we are siblings, what do I do to earn your trust? Or what have I done? I don't know.
I think what you, Selene, have done for me to keep my trust unbreakable to you is the fact that you constantly go to bat for me. You try to push to make sure that I am never seen in a bad light. Anyone that speaks ill of my work or confronts me or openly criticizes me, you very much react in a protective manner.
Of course.
And even when you'll reprimand me later about how foolish it was of me to speak out, or how I should not try to pick on someone larger than myself, or things like that, you are very much both a shield and a spear for me. And for that, I trust you with my life.
You bet your ass you trust me with your life.
You bet.
And then you ask a question?
Yep, then I will ask you a question.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. What was the best time that we spent together?
The best time that we spent together. The best time that we spent together. Oh, I'm gonna say that it was off-world. There was a time that Mother and Father, we left the Forge. We went to... Okay, let's just say that we went to Earth. And there was a very nice beach there. And there was no pressure. There was no expectation there. We went to a beach house, and it was just us four as the family. And there were a couple of blues and reds there as well.
As always.
But I think that was the most free that we've ever felt. We found a waterfall. We played in the water, and there was no pressure to beat gold. Do you understand?
I agree. I think that was great. We just played in the water. I got to read so many books on the sand, and that was pure wonder. And it's in the memory bank forever.
I think we were. I was 17 and you were 18 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Oh, here's one.
Okay.
When did I disappoint you?
There's not a lot that you've done that truly makes me disappointed. But there was a time when you were supposed to bring back a rogue red that I needed to study because it was one that I had been tailing for some time and was trying to break into the synapses of his core memories to see what he may have experienced that could have caused the anomaly within his programming. But you undermined my request and retired him without consulting me about it. Your argument was that he was a threat, but I could see through the surveillance that you just shot him from a distance. He was not doing anything threatening. So I think it is one of the few times where your prejudice against the Reds overrode a request from me. Perhaps this red looked too familiar. Perhaps this red brought something up in you. But it was a time when I said, please don't do this. And you went ahead and did it. Of course I forgive you. You're my sister. But I was, as the colloquial term says, it really was a real bummer.
Do not use words that are beneath you.
I suffered great melancholy.
You are not in the field, brother. It was in your best interest that you do not interact with this person.
Very well. I think Icarus is calling me.
As he often does.
Icarus doesn't speak. I think Icarus just is very much like an R2-D2. He just makes blips and
boop, boop, boop,
and beeps. Yeah.
Okay. I volley it back to you.
Ooh. All right. Huh. Let's see. Ooh, here's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
How did I help you when you needed it?
How did you help me when I needed it?
Mm-hmm.
I think you are constantly helpful because of your brain and how smart you are, and because of your knowledge of tech, and you have a specific knowledge into Reds as well. So I think you're constantly helping her. It might seem transactional, but it is not meant to be. But since I trust you as much as you trust me, there's no other goal that I would go to help me with my work.
Good to know.
So
good to know. I like that.
Let's see. I'll do one more general question.
That sounds good. But rule of 3.
Okay. What do I find irritable about you?
I had a feeling that was going to come up.
There is a couple.
Yeah. What do you find irritable about me?
Uh-huh.
I think it's been a thing that has probably been a problem since we were little. I think Dorian asks a lot of questions, and I think he overcomplicates things by sort of what's the word?
Mm-hmm.
The subconscious stream of consciousness sort of talking that he does sometimes. And it can look though he doesn't mean to, I think when he begins to overthink and ruminate and speak out, it looks as though he's detached from the conversation, or that he's not listening. And I think you were very direct, and when Dorian tends to drift into his theories and everything, it can be rather frustrating. Where you could be saying, okay, let's look at this, let's look at the grid here and follow the pattern of this red that's sort of like doing a weird pattern of walking, and I could be like, well, it's actually more of a Wittershams, where it seems like he's going in reverse clockwise, which is a fascinating thing because the reds have been programmed to walk within a clockwise.
I started the speeder, and you're either with me or not. Get up, get on.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he likes to wax ecstatic about the simplest of things too much. Like even though his nose is in the books, his head is in the clouds, and it can get annoying.
I think he took a lot of like theory classes and courses and morality type theoretical.
I minored in philosophy,
but yeah, a lot of philosophy courses, and she's like, okay, okay, back to you.
All right, one last question to give you. I've torn between the serious one or an endearing one, and I think because of Dorian's nature, we're gonna go with an endearing one.
Okay.
How do you always make me laugh?
Oof, this one's hard. She's not.
As I say, that both are tough questions, but this one's a little more like.
This one's.
I think
tough.
This is how Dorian breaks through.
How do I think it's the I think because she's like the straight man to your character, to Dorian. I think it's like the little kind of familial teasing that happens. She does it as well, but probably not as much as you. And I think it like like what kind of the little annoyances that annoy me, and so you push the. It's never too hard or never too much, but. So I think that's what makes you laugh, just pushing little buttons here and there that that's like annoying on purpose. It's not when you're like waxing poetic, but it's like the little things you're like.
No, yeah, that's subconsciously. This is conscious effort. Yeah.
You're like actively like pushing the buttons, that kind of thing where it's like you don't do this, but it's like where you're like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you, and like the finger is like right there.
Yep.
But it's not that annoying, but it's that kind of thing. You're like, I know where to push the buttons, and it makes you giggle.
I think it does.
And she doesn't stop you, so she's. I think part of her thinks it's fun too. Even though she's like, this is not funny. I don't believe.
Well, what do you think, Dex? I think Dex likes me more than he likes you. Like, I think I'm using. Dex
I look over to the cat.
Yeah.
Or maybe
the cat is different.
Or maybe I think Dex is like super loyal to me, of course, and he's very well trained, always following me. But I think when we're not in work mode and we're together, you and I think he's always with you.
I spoil him rotten.
Yeah, I think that's it, and I think that's what makes you laugh, because you can always like make jokes about whose lap is he sitting on. Something like that. Okay. So should we get into the specific like path questions?
Yeah, let's look at the path questions, see if they.
Yeah. So I think I chose kinetic and Slayer.
Okay.
Slayer. What is our history in hunting monstrosities together? And I guess in my mind, monstrosities would be reds.
The reds. I think ever since I earned the position to be like one of the chief robotics technicians, I personally requested to be assigned to your cases, and due to my status and due to the fact that I exceed a lot of the others within my field, I was given that sort of a special treatment. And I think we've been working together since I joined. I think it'd be a few years now, where we've been working together, and I think it's mutually benefited the both of us.
Yeah.
Our combined skills have really decreased the amount of anomalies significantly.
And because you are sympathetic to Reds, it probably doesn't make you feel too, because I imagine she's quite successful, which is might not be a good thing for you. I think it's a lot of the time there's a lot of accidental retirings.
Yeah, I think it's happened a few times where it's been like, well, we could have salvaged something from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and
but
then it's that
you go full exterminate.
Yes, I think it's like, what do we say? She's like true neutral or whatever. She kind of follows, like, she's an enforcer. So for the golds, I think they're called enforcers. And so they have their rules, of course, and she follows those guidelines. But I think she just considers them sometimes as just guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
And so she feels that something needs to be retired.
Yeah, and your authority is so high that no one really will question it.
But I don't think it's too high. I think there are people over her, of course. I think she's gotten in trouble a couple of times, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. I've definitely been reprimanded a few times, but I think the name of our house has saved me more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about your path?
I have augmented and tech.
Okay.
Both of them are. It's interesting. They're not. I guess it's from your character's perspective, not so much my own. The way the questions are poised.
Yeah.
We'll go with tech first.
Okay.
What is it that? Also, I'm going to phrase it as if I'm asking you the question, because the question is, what is it that makes me so good with technology? I think it's, what is it to you? What is it that you think makes me so good at technology?
I think what makes you so good at technology on a more technical level, it's that you are part technical, in the sense that, like, literally your eye is tech.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of you is
in me.
Yeah, I think it's in you in that sense, but I think you were born like a very precocious child, very smart too. I think he's like a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you had to have that part merge with you, and then, like, is it your arm too that had to get replaced, or
no,
part of your arm?
It's I think he probably has the plating on his cheekbone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where the eye was destroyed as part of that cheekbone. Yeah. If anything, he probably has something aesthetic here, because I think it was this whole section of his body that suffered the severe burns.
Yeah, so you have like that kind of fake new skin.
Yeah,
we'll call it new skin, NU. Skin that had to go on that side. Yeah, that makes sense, because the water or whatever was boiling would splash in that area. Oh, that's crazy. Whenever I think of that, I have, because a similar situation actually happened to my little brother, and it's a crazy situation to be a part of.
Well, I apologize for bringing that up.
No, it's not, but it is, like, it actually helps me to kind of get into character a little bit more, because it's crazy. But what happened to you, I'm thinking worse. Like, you had to get, like, I'm thinking like Two-Face level.
Almost. I think it was just about as bad as that before the repairs went into his face and his eye and his shoulder.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, so that's what I think makes you so good at technology. Is that partly you're just a genius and it kind of comes second nature to you, but then the second part is that you are now, like, integrated with tech.
Yeah, and I think over the years he's started to meddle with his own tech, where at first it probably would have been like a blue coming to do the upkeep and things like that as he's gotten older, but I think eventually he just started doing it himself.
Okay, yeah, I'll say so. Some blues come to you now.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so mine was Slayer. I already said Slayer, and then Kinetic. Do I sometimes use my powers just for fun? What do you think?
I think when you are not at work, I think you do sometimes use it to entertain yourself and sometimes potentially entertain decks. I could sort of see you kinetically moving things around for Dex to chase. It could
Yeah.
be kinetic of like moving things around, like bringing your like a drink to yourself, or things
Just
like
being
that.
lazy.
Yeah, just being lazy. I think you'd like use the leisure, because you put 110% of your physical and mental effort into your job, so that when you are resting, you still want to keep your kinetic muscles working. So you kind of utilize it for mundane tasks, and sometimes that's for fun. I think sometimes,
Yeah.
especially when we were younger, I think on that beach day,
Yeah.
when we went to the beach, I think you utilized it quite a bit to like wallop me in a game of volleyball, and
Oh
perhaps
yeah.
to increase the speed on your boogie board to
Yeah.
outpace me.
Oof, lots of cheating. I don't think she does it much, because I think people would.
No, I think I think it's within like I think you do it more so at home
Yeah.
I don't think you openly present that playful side of your
No.
kinetics. I think you just keep it for home.
I do. I think you see it a lot, and Dex sees it. Yeah, I don't think she wants to have like this kind of serious front when she goes out and be taken seriously.
Yeah.
I think people with the kinetic powers are treated not unfairly, but I think they're kind of left out because people can't trust them to like not cheat on certain
Correct.
things.
Mm-hmm. But when you're at the comforts of home, it's quite delightful to see you almost pamper yourself with the kinetic abilities, and the excuse is, I'm keeping my kinetic muscles going.
Yeah.
You either use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need a more eloquent version, but that's probably what my mentor tells me.
Yeah.
I think she gets it from him.
Yeah. Like an idle blade gets dull or something like that.
Yeah, something of that sort.
Something more professional sounding.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. What's your other?
My other is
question?
augmented.
Yeah.
I guess this, again, it's a more question for myself, but I'm going to poise it in, because the question is, why did I feel the need to augment my body? And
you didn't. I mean, you needed to.
Yeah. But I guess why?
A good question is like, why do if you do constant upgrades to it?
I think he does do constant upgrades to it. And I guess I'll ask you, why do you think I feel the need to augment my body? I think because he's constantly updating his eye, amplifying the resistance in his cheek and his shoulder, and he's constantly adding new features to Icarus's utility bot, which is almost always attached to him. Like it actually, the shoulder plate where his the metal is where Icarus locks and tethers to him like a little floating jellyfish.
I think there's a part of you that was bullied heavily as a child for that. You didn't have the tech wasn't as sophisticated
when it first
as it is now, and lots of kids looked at you odd or made fun of you. Some did, and I think there's a part of you that still feels the need to continuously prove them wrong, that you'll be better than them, that you'll just continue to advance your body so that you'll never be lacking or seen as less than.
Because whether you're in the past, the present, or the far-flung future, there's one constant: children are cruel.
Children are cruel, especially gold children.
Yes.
Entitled
children. Wealthy children.
Yeah, so it just wasn't good, and I think I've gotten in many a fight because of that. And I probably at one point I got in a lot of trouble for hurting a kid too bad with my kinetic powers.
Because I think maybe at one, I think it was an incident. My brain's just thinking. I think what may have happened is a kid was trying to pull my cybernetic eye out, and that's what snapped you.
Crazy.
Look, kids are cruel, and if they
would do
that.
We've read Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, we know what children will do if they don't understand the consequences of their actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do companions.
Yeah, let's do a companion question.
Why does my companion like you? Why does Dex like you?
Well, as we know, a glowcat can read sort of like the intentions and the emotions of people.
Yeah.
And I think Dex sees within Dorian somebody who, I think he senses the kindness, the lightness, and the overall welcoming demeanor that Dorian has.
Yeah.
And I think that even though you raised Dex and you've trained Dex and Dex trusts you and will listen to you, I think when Dex comes home, he now associates home with Dorian, because Dorian is the one that kind of like will spoil him and things like that. And I think he recognizes that Dorian is safe.
Yeah, I probably leave Dex with you when I'm out on my escapades.
Yeah, when you don't need Dex for things, Dex is with me.
Yeah, usually when I'm trying to sneak away. I don't know if... I'm trying to think. Would she tell Dorian about the secret? I think Dorian does know about the secret purple lover.
You know, I was
the only person.
Yeah,
he's the only person she would trust that with. I don't even think the parents know. Definitely they don't know.
Well, yeah, because you would know Dorian wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. He's literally the only person in the world who knows. So if the word got out,
be in trouble. Be big trouble.
And I think she leaves Dex with you when she goes on those.
Yeah, your night patrols.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay. What about you? Do you have any companion questions?
Let me see. I was looking at a couple of them. Here we go. Does my companion irritate you sometimes? And if so, why? How do you feel about Icarus? Because I know you have a feeling about Reds. Icarus, I think Icarus has been around for a while, and it's, again, just like his eye has been given more and more upgrades. Yeah. And it kind of acts like it has a personality, but it doesn't, because it's still a robot. But it does have, like R2-D2, like it can express itself. But it's very simplistic.
She doesn't feel one way or another by robotics and things like that. Reds are very different than robotics in her mind.
Yeah.
So they're not the same as like R2-D2 or BB-8 and stuff like that. They're literally like a vacuum or something. So she doesn't really think like, okay. They're like Roombas.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So she feels that. What?
Yeah. I just sparked an interest there. I think the reason Icarus looks like a jellyfish is because when we went on the family trip, we maybe did some snorkeling of some sort, and we saw some of those beautiful jellyfish.
Oh yes.
And I think it was you being like, "Stay away from them; they're dangerous," and me wanting to get close to look at them.
Oh.
And I think that inspired him, because we haven't gotten a chance to go back there, so he brings that with him and he puts it into Icarus.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good memory to have. Good.
Yeah.
That reason makes sense. So what the question was, what am I annoyed by? Or
is there anything that my companion does that irritates you, and if there is, why?
Does my companion irritate you? I think that's the answer. I think no. I don't think she feels one way about it. I think it's like just a companion that's always with you. I think she thinks that it's another piece of tech that just helps you. So yeah, I don't think she has any strong feelings towards it.
Okay. Not from lack of trying. I think he tries to I think whenever Dex is near him, he tries to send Icarus over to you, but then you just have Icarus bring you something, and it just sort of drifts around, kind of like a jellyfish, like it drifts.
Yeah, or I just flick a hand, and I think I've probably broken Icarus a few times. I think you've tried to like play around, and I would just use the kinetic powers, and it would fly against a wall and shatter.
Oh, it's definitely done that.
I'm sorry, brother.
That's all right. I needed to update his outer shell, so
the internal core looks broken as well.
It wasn't before.
Oh, I believe in you. Okay. How do you perceive my relationship with Dex?
I think at first, and I think beyond home, I think you treat Dex very professionally. I think you've trained Dex to be incredibly efficient.
Yeah.
And very good at its job, and a lot of your success draws from your reliability on Dex.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that you care a lot about Dex, and Dex, I think, keeps you a bit grounded for when you get a little too serious and a little too like intense with your work, and I think Dex is sort of there. Like again, Dex reads your emotions just as much as he reads anything else's, and I think Dex tries to keep you in check just as much as anything. So I think Dex is an incredible like asset for you, both in and out of work.
Yeah, I think she's not like. I don't think she's someone who can't feel sympathy or empathy. It's probably
not
just
so
a
much
little.
that, but it just helps.
I think it's a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder for her though. I think you are kind of like a wellspring of it. And
Yes.
I think it's harder for her, and I think Dex kind of helps out with that.
Mhm.
So he's not an emotional support animal. He is a emotional detector animal.
Yeah, like you'll know when you're going too far because Dex has changed the certain like color to be like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, maybe I'm going a little too far because Dex has turned purple.
Yeah. And then also, I think it's going to be interesting because it can read your emotions as well.
Yep.
So if you're ever trying to lie or trying to cover something up, I will like look at Dex.
Yep.
So it would be in your best interest that he's not around when you're trying to lie.
Yes, I think, or me not be around Dex.
Yeah, and I think that could be interesting when we're going to like find your red friend.
Oh yeah, I think that's going to be a problem.
Yep. A good complication, methinks.
Hell yeah, we love a complication.
We love it. Okay, so do you have any other companion questions? If not, we are finished with the questions.
You asked a second.
Yeah.
So let me find one more and then. Irritate you, perceive.
You can ask the same question too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about we just say, how do you perceive my relationship with my companion? Just because the other ones are very helpful.
Yeah. Your relationship, I think it's something that I see you take care of or have. You take great care to make sure the upkeep is well. You will be obsessive over it. And I think because it's a robot, you're not too married to, like, if it broke, I think it actually like makes you happy to like put it back together again and fix it and upgrade it and make it even better than before it was broken. So I don't think it's a thing of like, if someone destroyed it, your whole life is over.
As long as there's a piece of it to salvage, I think he would be all right.
Yeah.
He would be irritated if someone destroyed it on him. But, yeah, but then he'd be like, oh, it got destroyed because it suffered intense damage from intense heat. So perhaps I add some more heat resistance to the outer shell. And I think, yeah, he looks at it as a problem. But I think if Icarus were to be like disintegrated to nothing, it would upset him.
Yeah. I think maybe there's like an internal core piece that's hard to destroy.
Yeah.
So that you just always recover it and you're like, okay, time for Dex 4.0. Or no, not Dex, Icarus 4.0.
Yep. I think something that makes me think about that is I think potentially you may have requested that I put something within Icarus to help protect myself. Like perhaps that's where I keep a small weapon, a small weapon for myself if I ever need it, or perhaps it becomes a part of a small carapace to protect that part of that vulnerable part of my body.
Yeah, I think she definitely would have suggested that. Probably something overkill that you didn't need, and you're like, I don't need a submachine gun.
I don't think Icarus will benefit from having a grenade launcher or like a las cannon attached to him. But I will put an augmented carapace on him to attach to my shoulder, like where the shoulder metal piece is, like he can latch on and becomes like a shoulder guard.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So got the questions done. The next thing I wanted to go over is okay, so do you have your bonds or key NPCs?
The only key NPC that I've been working on, I'm gonna try to do some more of them this weekend. Just kind of like really expand. Is the AI companion, the AI rebel who's his best friend, and I'm sort of trying to narrow down a name for them. Because that's the question I was going to say is, do you think Reds name themselves or are given names?
Oh, are they given names? I think they're assigned names.
I think they're assigned names, probably based on the manufacturers' companies, perhaps, that facilitate them out.
Yeah, and they might And once they defect, they might, name themselves. So if we are ever in the fringe, they might have their dead name is the name that was assigned when they were booted up for the first time.
Oh, okay. How about this? Yeah, they are given a name from the manufacturer that they're like built from, and a number. So let's say like one of the families that like helps create the robots, Ashbridge.
Okay, right.
So Ashbridge 18 is, or Ashbridge 884, like, because there's bunches of them. But then
would that start sounding very generic?
Yeah, that's true. But that's why perhaps they come up with their own names. Or, We Are Golds, perhaps they have their own name generator that they just throw on.
I'm not sure. I think I would want to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we want it to be like name, number, or number, name?
Number, name, or number, or name,
number.
Name, and then perhaps maybe like a Latin number or something, or
what do you mean by Latin number?
I know that's not a Latin number, but perhaps like alpha, beta, gamma, sigma.
Oh, okay.
Bunches of those.
Number. Okay. Yeah, let's look into that a little bit more. Okay, yes. Come up with your key NPC, which is the red rebel leader.
His temporary name for now that I just put was where did I put it? Eisen.
Okay.
Don't know if we're gonna add a number to it, but Eisen. Eisen is their name. And I have known Eisen for a few. Eisen's been on my radar for a long time, and I think I reached out to Eisen first when I began to detect an anomaly. I think I did it sort of at first as a check-in, because I think one of my jobs as a sort of like in robotics is I go check in on all the reds frequently to like just to check their processing, make sure everything's up, like a person would go do a general checkup.
Yes.
Or a physical exam, like things like that. I think I go and I do that either digitally or they come, or they're like, I go out with like protected guard and I go check on certain different regiments throughout like my work time. The only time I ever really go in the field is when I need to go out and like physically fix something.
Okay, yeah, and it's like they did that in Blade Runner. They'll have these like tests. They'll ask you questions.
Yeah, exactly.
So something like that. I was thinking in terms of names. I am immediately thinking of FN 2187. That was in Star Wars, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call you Finn." He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "My name's FN 2187."
Oh, I like that.
So I'm thinking something like that, where it's like, "My name's CN 17 or something," and then they choose their new name. You can call me Sen or something, or my name is RX 42. Your new name is Rex. It's something that easily can be converted into like their new name.
R055. His name is Ross.
R055.
Ross.
RO55.
RO55.
Okay.
His name is. Yeah, that's his name. I'm gonna put that in my notes now.
Okay.
And then I'll expand on that. But I think he's been in contact with Ross. He calls him Ross.
Okay.
And I think that's where he sparked the conversation. I think he called him RO55, and then then Ross responded, "You could call me Ross." And
that's how the red responded.
That's how the red responded. And I think I initially detected that as, oh no, this is a sign of individuality. This is a red flag. But I think, however, the demeanor and everything from Ross made him be like, "I'm gonna clear you." Like he kind of let him know I'm gonna clear you, but I established something within Ross that we can have conversations via the digital space. Because I know Dorian would have private chat networks. Like he has one with you, he has one with the family.
Yeah. And I think it could be a thing of like, it could be a thing of where you guys have been talking for a while, and you're like, by the way, what's your name? But like that period of talking, you got to know them more. And you're like, this is actually a very cool person. They're very nice and kind, charismatic. And they kind of like pulled you in. You're like, oh, and what's your name? My name is Dorian.
Yeah, I think that. Yep, and I think it's one of the few reds where like I can talk philosophically with them. But I'm not sure if I can talk philosophically with you.
No.
And he doesn't really talk to a lot of people at work. I think I'm going to create another key NPC that perhaps is one of his superiors at the archives, like the chief archivist or something. Perhaps doesn't like that Dorian's there.
Maybe he thinks he's too young.
Too young, I think, because he got there on merit and not so much his blood, like the bloodline. Where like we don't normally accept, the Calvarises are like I know your sister's great and all, but like you're much more inexperienced. But we'd rather give this to someone else who's been here longer. Like I was given a high position immediately, where other people have like been fighting to get promoted within the archives.
Yeah.
Of those. So I think there's some resentment.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I came up with 3. And then I have the mentor, the lover, the rival. The mentor's name is Cassian Au Valarius.
Cassian.
The lover is KL. They're violet. That's their color. And the third is the rival. His name is Jork Au Lanner.
Ooh, Jork.
He's also a gold. He's a gifted kinetic in his late 20s. He is Selene's peer and the only other known gold with their abilities. He's also having trained under Cassian.
So you couldn't get away from him.
Yeah. So Selene is disciplined and professional. Jork is more arrogant and flamboyant with what he does. So he views his connected powers as like a birthright that entitles him to status and pleasure. And he often uses it for displays of power, like at galas, at social events.
He very much peacocks it.
Yeah, exactly. He is politically ambitious. He's charming on the surface, but he's actually very like casually cruel. He's probably more cruel than she is in terms of like any color below them.
Yeah, you've seen him mistreat, like blues and bronzes and everything.
Yeah. So he fully embraces the privilege of being gold and has no patience for those who question their station. So we've had like a tense, like lifelong rivalry, and I can't get away from him because we came up together under Cassian's tutelage. So he teaches us both. And he views me as his like primary competition.
Because anything that he could be up for, you would be up for as well.
Yeah, I think he wants I think he might be a little bit jealous that I have the favor of our mentor. Yeah, and he always has wanted that, but he's evil, so he's not gonna do it. And he won't hesitate to like showcase any weakness. If he found out about like the violet lover, it's all bets are off.
Yeah, he would take great pleasure in ruining you.
Yeah, or no, he would be the person who would like hold it over me and like what's the word?
Scandal?
No, he would hold it over me and like he would definitely blackmail. He's that type of political sly fox. Yeah. And then Cassian Au Valarius is he's late 60s. He's the mentor. It's rumored that he sits on the secret tribunal of 7.
Ooh.
But no. Do people know who sits on the 7?
I think perhaps just for the sake of their own protection.
Yeah.
For people trying to.
Oh, okay. I hear you.
I think they are kept anonymous.
Okay, but we do know of the 7. We know there's 7. We just don't know who.
Yeah, the 7s I think wear gold masks.
They wear gold masks, and so we can have meetings with them. There can be tribunals and stuff like that. We don't know who it is, and also the bodies are ambiguous too. So you can't just be like, oh, that looks like the same shape and size of this person.
Yeah, no, yeah, they wear something that makes it very ambiguous.
Yeah. But he's very stern. He's very disciplined. He's devoted to the preservation of the caste system. I don't think he's not like Jorik in that he's evil. But he does like, I think that's probably where Selene gets it. That kind of
very
devout,
lawful neutral.
Yes, and I think he is like the closest thing Selene has to like a second father. Mm-hmm. He's trained her a lot in like honing her abilities and stuff.
You've had more conversations with Cassian than you've had with our own father.
Maybe.
I
think we can flesh out the family. We'll flesh out the family a little bit more. But I think he's immensely proud of her skill. I think he pushes her relentlessly. I don't think he's mean about it, but he's probably very like stern. Doesn't show. I think he shows it in different like little ways how he's proud of her, and I think Jorik sees that, like since we were kids. I don't think he's like overt about like, hey, proud of you, kiddo, you did better than him. Like, I think he just does little things, and Jorik has saw it, and he's like had this festering like envy inside of him.
Yeah, it's more just observation where he'd be like, Selene, you've completed 95% of this obstacle course with efficiency. Jorik, you were at 85. Very.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Yeah, very subtle and blunt.
It's that kind of thing where it's like, I'll get a nod from him, but Jorik won't. Yep. It's like little things like that.
You got the nod of approval.
Mm-hmm. Or he'll like, he like pats me on the shoulder in our graduation and like gives Jorik a nod.
Mm-hmm. That was his first nod he ever got.
Yeah, but I got a touch.
Yeah.
I'm better. No, I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the three. The violet is KL. That's their name. They are, I want to say that they're pretty famous. I think that's probably how she found him.
Is KL like a pop star, like a musician?
Right. What did I write down? He's an artist. I think he creates poetry, and I think that's very in this world that is very popular. People who are poetic, who can create these beautiful prose and things like that.
Yeah, and Utopia is like that stuff is always like, because you can always make new poems or you can recite the classics, and people love to hear them be spoken rather than just reading them.
I think he secretly wants her, like I think he secretly like wants her to kind of break away from the gold mantra.
Yep.
And break the chains from the inside, and may sometimes like broach the idea, but Selene will immediately cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Stop.
Change the subject. Yep.
Stop. I think she'll get serious at that moment and probably will get upset and then leave. But I think he'll bring it up sometimes, like those little questions, like, "Don't you think that's wrong?" And then I'll be like, "What are you talking about?"
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And that might be like a small point of contention, but I think there's love there as well. So it doesn't come up too much.
Yeah.
But I think he sees like the cracks in the system, that this is wrong.
This is why Dorian likes him.
You think they met?
I don't think they've met, but Dorian knows who it is.
Oh, I've told you who it is.
Yeah. And I think if his poetry is like that eloquent, I'm sure Dorian would know who that is, and it's like it would approve, because I don't know if I don't think you tell Dorian about like the arguments and stuff like that, but just because I would say perhaps KL is very passionate with a lot of his words, and there's some liberal hints within his poetry.
Oh.
That Dorian's like, yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. I think maybe they met at probably like at a gala or something, some type of get together where they're like hiring artists to come and entertain.
Mm-hmm.
And probably approached him and asked for a private showing.
Mhm.
And I think it was like purely physical at first, and then turned into something more the more they met.
Yep.
Okay, so that's my 3. The last thing that I want to go over before we head out is the slang. I have some words.
The slang. The slang.
Slang, yeah.
Yes.
So I have some phrases.
Okay.
Okay. Redline it. To push something to its absolute limit. Redline it.
I like that. Redline it.
We redline it through the blockade or something like that.
Yep, push it beyond.
Or we don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Forged. It means someone is tough. It means they're hardcore.
You forged?
Without getting you think yeah. Someone is tough. They're built different. Pulse. It means a moment or a second.
A pulse.
So instead of saying like, give me a second to think.
Give me a pulse.
Yes.
I like that.
Pulse. Ink. So truth or confirmation. It's the
Ink?
truth.
Give me the ink.
Yeah, that's not just a rumor. That's ink. And I think it comes from the place of like when you write something down on ink, on paper, that means it's true. It's binding. So that's where ink comes from. What else? I put cast bound. You're trapped by your social status. You're being trapped. I was born cast bound. I spelled it wrong.
Living that cast bound life.
Cast bound. So there's a few. So I have these written down. I'll write it down so that we could both see it. But I think we can have it like on a little sheet somewhere. Long sheet. Listen, we're gonna have sheets so that we can remember stuff.
It actually, a slang word that I was thinking about, because I know that in our actual time that I think there's some slang going around about like calling out like bad AI. I think, or like AI programs, they've been calling them clanks. Like,
is that bad AI?
As a bad AI, a clank.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, well, maybe we can flex that to how certain people treat the Reds, and they might have a bad word, like a word for the Reds when they're angry. I was like, what if they're dents? Because if you like hit them, they dent. They don't break. Like they don't, like bones don't break. They don't bleed. They just dent.
Oh, I see.
They're like, you're not like us. You dent.
Call them. Okay, so is it dents or dent?
Or it could be denters.
Oh, I don't know if I like denters.
Okay, yeah.
Denters.
As soon as I said, yeah, dents. Like.
Oh, you're saying, sorry, I thought you meant dents as DENSE. You meant DENTS.
Yeah, DENTS. It could be like, we got a dent. Like the Greys probably use it a lot.
What?
The Greys, because they enforced a lot of the cruelty on the Reds.
Yeah.
So some of the more corrupt ones be like, we got a bunch of dents giving us trouble, or one of the dents ran off.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Once it's in a sentence, I understand a little bit better.
Yeah.
So
did you track down that dent?
Yeah, it's like it's a derogatory, right?
Yeah, like an imperfection in a smooth system, a dent.
Okay, term to call the Reds. Okay.
And I'd say it might not be something that like a phrase a gold uses very often, would very much be used by the Greys and some of the lower colors because of their more frequent interactions with them.
I think, well, okay, because in the Red Rising novels, they say like the golds have like it's very higher form of speaking.
Yeah, we probably have a fancier way to speak about them.
Yeah. But they'll say like Goodman, my Goodman. So that's one. You're just talking
very medieval. Yeah, Goodman.
Yeah.
Is a lower station person. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so something like that. And I was thinking, do we call uh, Redman, Violet? I don't know if that makes sense, but something like that, or
A redlet.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I like Redman.
No, I don't like that either. I said it. It was one of those things I said it and like, meh. We'll think of something. I can think of
yeah, we'll think of more stuff. I think that's another thing we can think of. We can expand on.
I can think of my old fancy like upper class Renaissance terms. See, how can I make these sci-fi sounding?
Your mind immediately goes to.
Well, because Goodman was a term an upper class could use for a lower class person, like a Goodman. Like, it's not an insult, but it's like you're of lower station, but I'm trying to show you respect. Yes, Goodman.
Or
like, but to make it an insult, you would call someone a Goodman boy or a Goodman lass, which means you're useless.
Oh, I see. So something like that. Something where like, I want something like insults that golds use, and if you use it, it's like you're being really disrespectful to other golds.
Oh, it was a game we used to play where you had to come up with the most eloquent insults to throw at each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna write that down. Eloquent insults for golds.
I literally have a friend who used to be a professional insulter.
Oh my gosh. Okay, not only insults, but all eloquent ways of just calling each other. We don't say, maybe we don't say sir or ma'am. That's that type of like station type.
Lord, Duchess, Baron, like all those different terms. Like there's we can think of some
eloquent ways to call out to someone.
Mm-hmm. To show deference to each other and decorum, like gold decorum. That's what we can call it. Like the way they speak to each other and how they speak to the other colors.
And how they refer to the other colors as well. Okay, so let's see. Just gonna write that down. So anyway, like I said, we talked about the first 30 seconds, the audience side of things are critical, hooking the listener immediately with story tension, having that unique angle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of, so let me say this first. So the opening scene, my idea is, and I'll say it now, I know we're technically live. I don't think much people are listening. So it'll be a little bit of a spoiler if they are.
You hear that, Nick?
It's fine. I think that I want to open up like the first 2 minutes critical. We're grabbing the listener. I want to start with this intense, like disorienting cold open to create mystery and establish the brutal stakes of the world. Specifically the world that we live in as golds.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be visceral, and I just want it to be the sound of muffled sobbing, whimpering, the hum of machinery, and we hear the sounds of pain or struggle. I want the question to be, what is that noise? Where are we?
Ooh.
And then some type of reveal. We're witnessing a moment of punishment or cruelty, a lower color being disciplined by grays. I want it to be known that the golds are the ones that gave this order. Perhaps even offhandedly. Like it was just something like they said, go take care of it.
Yep. A very, very vague command that could very easily be interpreted as cruelty.
And the way that we are very flippant about it, but the grays can be cruel. And so that's how they took care of it.
Yeah. Like you said, take care of it.
And what's crazy is that from a gold perspective, it was just like, yes, just go take care of it. It is a headache.
Yeah.
And then we switch perspective to somebody else. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely horrible. Or maybe it's not a red maybe it's a violet. That's, something, but like a person is suffering because of a flippant gold directive. And so that's where I want to kind of start And then I want to cut from that visceral scene to a very clean, sterile, and quiet location. It is one of the gold academies for children. And
Okay.
so we see children, maybe it's us as youths, we're little kids, we're standing at like perfect attention and we're chanting the mantra of the golds. So I want to provide like immediate, like jarring context.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how the brutality from the cold like is created and justified a little bit. It shows that my goal is that it shows that the characters are also victims of the system's indoctrination.
Yep.
I want to make it clear that the opening scene is the direct result of that indoctrination that we just witnessed.
Strength is beauty.
And so my idea is like cold open of that cruelty, flashback. It ends with the line. It ends that whole scene, the whole opening ends with the line of the mantra. So that's our opening. So we say, gold. Order is gold.
Strength is duty. Duty is order. Order is gold.
And it's like, I think we don't have the sound of children.
No.
That would be awesome. But if we could hear a group of children say all at once, order is gold, it's very powerful.
Yeah.
And then music, transition, opening of episode 1. That's my idea.
That would be where the recap would normally go, but we put that opening scene there.
That's the opening scene.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that's my idea. We can obviously flesh it out and chat more in between. But yeah, I'm like, is that a good way to grab people immediately? Like you're hearing whimpering, like hits, like bone crack, someone being thrown against a wall, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's great. And it could be someone. We don't have to go into super detail, but yeah, somebody getting completely like battered by enforcers, shifting to a scene that looks like it's peaceful, but then it turns into the kids stand up, they stand in the line, they repeat the mantra, and then they return to what they're doing.
It's just normal everyday life. Okay, so that's
the children know it. The children know at 10:15 they stop, they repeat the mantra, and then they go back to their activities.
That's crazy. Do they say it multiple? They say it multiple times a day.
So to get it into them, I think in school, I think the kids do.
Oh yeah, say it at the beginning of the day,
middle of the day, end of the day.